Hello friend, welcome back to Toyota Maintenance YouTube channel. Today you are looking with me on 2014 Prius V. I will be replacing the spark plugs and I would like to show you why this one, it's not your regular 4-cylinder spark plug replacement which just takes 20 minutes, right, or so. So I remove this cover which was on top of here. You just pull it from these rubber mounts. You pull it straight up and this will show you where the plugs are. This is the coils, right? 1, 2, 3 and 4. The problem is this part right here. This entire coil is in the way and it has to be removed. So I started right here. I pried out this plastic cover to get to that nut. Believe it or not, this all has to be removed. So that nut is 14 millimeter, and I will loosen that carefully. I will remove it and then I will mark that position of that windshield wiper so I can put it exactly in the same place. You can scratch it or use one of these pens. That's totally up to you, obviously, right, how you do that. I like these pens, they're pretty cool. So that should tell me when I'm putting it back how it will go back. Now it's easier for me to put this down. Obviously I don't want to squeeze the protective cover here, and if I grab it this way, hopefully I don't need the puller, and here we go, we can see it gave up without a fight. Good, I like that. I like easy. I will go back, open the hood, right? Now again I will not damage anything, scratch anything, and continue with this windshield wiper assembly. I keep organized here the parts on the small table, right? Is it also 14? Of course it is. 1 and 2. And remove these 2 black nuts. 1, 2. Here we go. This wiper assembly didn't even give me a chance to mark anything. It just popped up by itself. Right? So that I will have to deal with later. Hopefully it will be easy to place it correctly there. I'm sure you will agree, suddenly it looks way more accessible, right? So this whole thing unfortunately has to go. But there is one fastener right here, and it's that push pin, the one when you push the middle part of it down, and that will allow you to lift it. So this is what I removed just now. And look, there is suddenly large play in this entire panel. And continuing and looking at it, there are such clips here which you just push in, and they actually allow movement of this part up. So that's another one, and here at the very end is another plastic fastener. I wonder if somebody removed it in past, because this is not a matching fastener. It's a matching hole, but the fastener looks different. We will see. Somebody was down there already. And let's see together if that will let me to lift it. Now look at this. It does. Except I have these ends here, which also needs to be disconnected from that middle panel. So this is one of those, right? That needs to go. Oh yeah, look at the panel. Now I don't have to remove the other one on the other side, right? And we have access to this area. Do you think we are done? We can do the spark plugs? Forget about it. It's just beginning. But I love your enthusiasm, right? That maybe you thought, oh yeah, finally we can do those spark plugs. Well, not really. I will give you the look in the detail again, right? You want to see it? I know you want. So here we go. This is still, this steel part, it's still in our way, right? Now, I said to you, oh, I said that maybe somebody was in it already. Look at it. This part, this wiper was really moving a lot. So I'm like, oh, somebody forgot to put this nut back. No, this whole assembly actually is snapped and it's broken. Wow. Oh, wow. Look at this one. Wow, what happened here? Not just one spot. Also here broken. Well, I'm glad I'm filming this. Nobody will blame me for doing this. That's completely broken into pieces. This entire windshield wiper mechanism is in the pieces. Wow. Well, that's too bad. Of course, I will continue with cleaning this area, right? The vacuuming this mess, and then I will invite you back in the video. I did vacuum as much as I could of those leaves and so on. My next step is disconnect this electrical connector to this windshield wiper motor, which is right here, and unplug these 3 locations from this entire assembly. And this is too bad. I wonder what happened. I wonder if it's previous work, if anything was done here, if that's the reason, or if it's actually the fail of the part. It's a long time ago when I worked for the dealer, so it will be always interesting to check out if there are any technical service bulletins for this entire assembly failing, right? This part. As you can see, these mounts, right? They are here, and it's just one big part. I wonder if it's common that they fail, or this is just very random situation. I didn't do very many of these yet, right? But it's coming. There will be more and more needed due to the mileage, right? These iridium spark plugs, if you look in your manual, the service interval is 110,000 miles. And this entire steel black part needs to be removed right now, right? Because it's still the same way in the way of spark plugs. So you have your power tool, right? These are 10 millimeter bolts, and you can just go ahead and blast them off. They are pretty obviously visible, right? Here are 2 actually. You can see it's holding the black part towards to that blue or greenish color of the vehicle. It's very obvious. One of them fell down here, but it doesn't matter. There is one more in the back, right? So you just continue here. I will need extension for this one. But there's another one here, right? You get a picture, right? So all these 10 millimeter bolts needs to be removed. And this is definitely not a how-to video. I'm not trying to show you how you should do that. I just invited you to, so you can see what is involved in this procedure. Why not how to? Because I don't want people who have no idea about the Priuses. I don't want to be them working around this high voltage cables, right? They can be leaning on it, they can get shocked. So in general, if you have no clue about that inverter system and that high voltage system, I will discourage people from working on Priuses instead of, you know, telling them, oh yeah, do all of that by yourself. And why am I telling you this? Like I want to make myself important, looking important? No, I just being honest with you, absolutely honest. I am Prius certified. When I work for the dealer, I got all the certifications. It was only 2 of us who were working on Priuses at the dealer. Oh, here is one more. It's hanging right here. It's not even bolt. It's just a rubber mount right there. So it was 2 of us working, and there were certain procedures which only we were allowed to work on, and the safety was the reason, right? That hybrid system, that high voltage can kill you instantly if you will do something stupid around these high voltage cables. So that's why I'm saying that. And maybe the easiest and fastest is removing these 10 millimeters, right? So these are the 2 broken. You don't see this one. Here is the broken 3, 4. So let's take those off too. Right, you can see it. It's a little bit different one, longer one, and that will allow me to remove this whole part. Right, there was this rubber holder right here. It was inside here, and it needed to be moved this way. Right. So first of all, look on those broken mounts. Right, this one it's completely broken off. And why this black thing doesn't want to go up? Because that one was still hiding there, right? So it's better at the end. If you want to be really fast, just take this 1, 2, 3 and 4 here, and it will be faster. So what do you say? Is this the last one, or am I still missing something? Well, we will find out right now, right? Hopefully the camera is far enough, camcorder, for you to see all of it. And finally, I will be able to carefully move this whole thing out. Look at that. And all this work was needed to just start the spark plugs. Isn't it amazing? Previous generations, right, on the Priuses, that wasn't a case, but it's on this one. Now we can appreciate the freedom, right? Number 4, number 3, number 2, number 1. Look how easy it should be to work on this 2ZR-FXE 4-cylinder 1.8 liter engine. So let's finally go and remove those spark plugs. But before that, I guess I will be thorough and I will remove all this mess. This definitely keeps moisture, right, when it rains, which means it will introduce rust in this area. So this needs to be gone. I changed the position of the camcorder for you so you have a better view. Here are those electric connectors, right? You have to push on this tab. Sometimes they don't want to give. Sometimes you have to help yourself with this tool, but be careful, you don't want to break it, right? It's kind of brittle because the heat which is in the engine bay all the time, right? So the plastic gets bad. See this one, it's giving me a hard time. What's about the last one? Will that go? I'm just trying to show it to you the way it is, right? goes good. I didn't break it. One more, right? This one. Just wanna make sure I don't break anything on the people's cars, right? Again, the tap is still there. So finally, the coils will be free to go up, right? That will be 10 millimeter screw. And this is the moment I still can use these power tools, right? And many times I'm preaching to you in certain situations, don't rush, don't use the power tools. And it's coming actually right now, right? Because I will finally be able to lift up this coil. And now now you see why we couldn't do this job, because these coils are so long that there was not clearance here, right, to lift them up. There was no way to go somehow sideways and so on. It was not possible. So now we have the coil out. What's about the spark plug? From different videos on this channel, you know very well my snap-on deep spark plug socket, right? I use it in every video. I love it. Together with this snap-on extension, they're locked together, right? So now I'm ready, right? It's a 5/8. I'm ready to remove the spark plug, right? I'm just teasing you. Toyota decided to update their spark plugs and make them different. So the tools we were using until now cannot be used on this engine. Why? Because they made those spark plugs smaller and you need actually 14 millimeter wrench. And this is where I will not use that power tool, as I always try to explain to you, because you have no idea if that spark plug is seized inside, in which condition it is, and how easy it will go out. So I always want to feel this by the hand, right? Carefully feel it, because you don't want to create some problems for yourself. And you are seeing me right now remove this spark plug in the number 1 cylinder. Obviously, all the other ones will be the same, right? These plugs, you will see in a second when I will remove it, they have a really long thread. So you keep turning and turning and turning, but guess what? Finally I can feel it's completely loose. And in this case it's a nice magnet, right? And here you go. Didn't I say they have a long thread? Well, look at that. They do. Super long. And I can see this is original Denso SC20 HR11, which I have ready on the bench. I can also see that the gap between the electrodes is too big. So this really lasted those 100, what is this Prius having? 115, something like that. It lasted just right, but it's definitely time to replace it with the new one. And this is definitely one of those situations again when I will say it's worth to go get original correct spark plugs, right? So if you look, here is the brand new one, Denso, which belongs in this Prius, and look how long the thread is, and look how the gap is way shorter, right? The one I pulled out, I will say, if I want to make a lot of sensational claims, I will say, hey, it was almost double the gap, right? So the vehicle, that these tips really burnt off, and the vehicle couldn't run perfectly. Now, to put it perfectly in, I will always put some anti-seize, in this case the copper, the high temperature, on that thread. And that means on that thread only, not on the tip, obviously. Also, this is very expensive iridium spark plug. It's supposed to last 110,000 miles. So don't touch those electrodes. They are not adjustable. if you will start bending it and scraping it or something, you will just destroy that expensive layer of iridium. So I put very carefully on those frets very little of that anti-seize, right? And that's for making sure it will be not stuck in the head of the engine in the future. But right now I have 14mm socket, right? But I didn't buy the right tool yet. I forgot when I was doing it last time. I forgot completely to put it in my list. So how will I drop this down in the cylinder without damaging or bending this tip, right? I cannot just throw it down there and then bring this socket down. I have to carefully lower it down, so I have to improvise. We'll take that socket 14mm and little bit of tape and put it in, right? That should hold. Oh yeah, look at it. It will hold the spark plug for the purpose of carefully lowering it in the engine, and then I will pull it out, right? So now I lock it on my extension, and it's unfortunately, right, my goof off. I should have that tool, but I forgot. I did a job last time and I didn't pay attention to go immediately write it down, right? And now by hand, nicely, the thread is going perfectly. There is that anti-seize, right? I am able to do it by hand. When it will stop, then I will apply the correct torque. Alright, you see it? I just hit the end. And now there are different methods. It's about how much you turn after, or you just apply correct torque. I don't have a manual here, the factory manual for these plugs. You have to look it up, I'm sorry. I just feel it, and now I know that it's perfectly tight, it's perfectly seated, it will not blow by or anything. And now I can pull this little, right, goof off thing off. Now I can drop back the coil. Please don't interchange them. Keep the number 1 for number 1. If you want to pull all of them in the same time, mark them or lay them somewhere right across. I can nicely drop it down there. I can use this. If I'm careful, I could use, right, my power tool. I will put it into the lower torque, right? What's happening? There's this connector here. It's just perfectly in the way. So you know what? Let's just take it off. Let's take the extra step and put it straight there. Okay? Now I know it's tight, right? I use the low torque. Now I put this back. Obviously, right now, all the other ones will be identical, right? And once again, this is definitely not how-to video, right? I just want to show you what it takes to replace these spark plugs. If you want to hire someone and they say, hey, it will be maybe $50 more for the labor because we have to remove a lot of stuff, you can trust them and you will not say, oh, they are trying to get me, right? They are just making up stuff. No, this is really more labor intensive, this replacement, than on that previous generation where you really came and just zoom, you pull them out, right, in just few minutes. So I filmed that. I had time, fortunately I had time for it today. The customers coming in like 1.5 hours, so I could film it for you. I hope that perfectly gives you idea what is involved in this, how it's done, what are the plugs numbers and so on, right? They are different. So if you want to try to do it by yourself, right, you are already ready. You will be not caught off guard that there are thinner spark plugs than in the all previous vehicles. Thank you for watching and be subscribed. You know, I always have more videos for you on this channel. See you later, my friend.